Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on the topic of the aftermath. After the discard, after essentially breaking it off, shutting it out with a narcissist, personality disordered individual who perhaps you were dating, in love with, or even married to. People can experience a narcissist personality disorder for a number of years before it's eventually gets to such a crucial point. There's so much conflict, there's so much unhappiness, there's so much unrest that really there needs to be a solution. There needs to be a coming to of terms. There needs to be arrival at some sort of decision because the pain is just great enough. The pain is too great. You know, you can't continue along that path. So really, once one has exposed them or decided that the relationship needs to separate or things need to change, I'm really focusing in on this video on really the sense of inadequacy that the victim feels or might experience after exposing a narcissist, getting duped, getting deceived, being manipulated, being taken advantage of, being taken to the cleaners, given a run for their money. God only knows what sort of sacrifices you had made in the name of love and devotion to this narcissist personality. They are all-consuming in terms of their source of supply, and Sam Vatican has likened it to that of an alcoholic. In other words, the narcissist personality disordered individual is so unquenchable, so out of control of their need for supply, that they will hurt others in their environment just to keep their source of supply going. And oftentimes people get used, abused. They get drained emotionally, they get drained financially, they get drained of property, they get drained of reputation. It's brought out the worst of them. They've gotten into arguments, fights, conflicts. They're completely out of character, made to cross all sorts of self-boundaries in order to try to keep this relationship going. Looking back at the foundation of all the positive, all the good, all the fun that we had. And oftentimes people, the victim, will leave the relationship feeling very inadequate. What is wrong with me? Why didn't I see this? Why did I put up with this for so long? And then they start to have a lot of regret, a lot of resentment, and they feel very inadequate. They have a difficulty learning to trust themselves. I need to know better. I keep getting into trouble. Or if people who haven't resolved their own issues really in the relationship continue to attract these types of perpetrators and violators, which we absolutely positively want to stop doing. That is a large goal of this channel here at Peace and Harmony, is to empower you with a knowledge of these types of people, but also to empower you to respond and bounce back and heal and move forward and identify really what went on. And empowered meaning resolving the issue, coming to that aha moment where you say, okay, you know what, I understand what went on here, not my fault, I'm just another one that was slain in their escapades of supply, and I now see the light. I'm taking steps out, I'm making moves out, and I'm brushing myself off. What I find though is that oftentimes people are plagued by a feeling of inadequacy. They tend to feel so bad that they had given so much time, love, affection to this person, and they're wondering what is wrong with me. And they feel very hesitant to get back into relationships. They feel very hesitant to trust themselves. They feel very hesitant to trust others. And so it really kind of shakes up their perspective and their mentality. Number one thing you need to realize is that you did nothing wrong. Chances are you entered into this relationship with the best of intentions, the best of love, the best of sharing, the best intentions of it being a wonderful relationship, of it going places, of you growing together with this person, and you gave it everything. You gave it all you had. And really, it's sometimes people do not realize they're involved with a narcissist until it hits that bottom. until it hits this situation where it's like, you know what, I'm really on the giving end here, and I'm, you know, how about a little bit coming my way? And, you know, sometimes people get stuck in a relationship where they're all giving and they're not receiving. So when I think, you know, coming out of a narcissist relationship, it's a good time to do a good gut check and realize, okay, this was this kind of person. I now know and can identify a person who is all about them and all about taking. And yes, we might have some good times, but it's not worth the price. It's not worth the pain. It's not worth the anguish. And I deserve equal footing, equal representation, and equal receiving in the relationship. So if you can arrive at that conclusion and realize that, okay, you know, I do trust myself. I, you know, was in too deep, as they say. I was, you know, giving too much. I had made a mistake in my giving. I thought it was all in the name of love. I thought it was the right thing to do. I didn't realize I was being taken advantage of. I didn't realize I was violating my own boundaries and my own needs. Wow, I did not realize that. Okay, I get it now. It's time for me to pick up my piece, and it's time for me to move on and acknowledge that. And not feeling inadequate, not feeling less than, not feeling ashamed that the relationship didn't work, because you cannot change these people. You know, the thing is, when you are involved with, you know, a person who does not have this type of disorder, there's a sense of common terms. There's a sense of understanding, both spoken and unspoken. And really, in these sort of relationships, you can arrive at mutual decisions, you can arrive at mutual solutions, and you can essentially have some common terms. Basically, on the table, there's some give and take, there's some adjustment to each other, there's some saying, okay, you know, let's do this, and there's some acknowledgement of the feelings and opinions of others, and then the relationship can then move forward to satisfy that. Yes, honey, let's try this. Yes, let's try that. You know, they're open, they're flexible. You know, all these things are so crucial. So don't devalue yourself. Don't feel like you're inadequate. Don't feel like, you know, you're missing something, that you've got to screw loose. You know, realize that this is how these people are. They usually take people on the ride as far as they can go, and oftentimes will deceive and cheat on people for years without the other knowing it. They are that good, and as Sam Vatkin says, they are like alcoholics. They cannot be satiated. They will do whatever it is day in, day out to feed their supply source, and it has no bearing on you. I mean, you could be satisfying them. I mean, you could be satisfying them tenfold, 100-fold, yet they're still going to seek. That's their nature. That's how they are. You can't help them. Just like the alcoholic, you know, I mean, they're helpless over their drinking. An alcoholic is not able to drink in moderation. They're not able to control their behavior. They're not able to control their use of that substance. Likewise, with a narcissist, they're, you know, with someone who's a narcissist personality disorder, I mean, that's their game. That is where they are constantly headed and motivated, and they really do not have control to relinquish. You know, they are not able to relinquish control over that. They have no control over their needs, their drives, and their need for more. So resolve to understand that and know that in your heart, and be grateful that you have arrived at knowledge and clarity, and move on in integrity and wholeness, knowing you are enough. You have self-esteem within, you have everything you need within, and you had just encountered a narcissist, and you're all the better for it. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.